On the humanitarian side, the Badawi refugee camp witnessed difficult living conditions as thousands of Palestinians fled there, unable to return.
Had we stayed during the shelling, it would have been better than these miserable living conditions. There are 1 million people in one room, and the small amount of water we get, we give to the children.
There are elderly people who are suffering. There are no necessities of life here. On the humanitarian side, like beds, food, or water.
Amidst the humanitarian ceasefire, political communications were being made on many fronts. The possibility that the proposed solutions will succeed is very slim. With the continued humanitarian ceasefire, the residents of the camp are still waiting for a solution to this problem. Meanwhile, everyone agrees on the need to close the file on Fatah-al-Islam.
Away from Nahr al-Barid is Lebanon's biggest Palestinian refugee camp at Ain al-Helwa in the south of the country. The camp is one of the most densely populated places on earth, and while it has been peaceful in recent days, many residents fear the violence seen in Tripoli could spread. Al Jazeera's Alan Fisher has been to Ain al-Helwa and sent this report.
This is home for the people that have no home. Ain al-Helwa is the biggest Palestinian refugee camp in Lebanon. Here, 80,000 people exist in just 1 square kilometre, making it one of the most populous places on earth. Events in and around Tripoli are being followed very closely here, 100 kilometres to the south. The people here know that if things there escalate dramatically, then it will be very difficult to keep the lid on violence here and in other camps like it across the country. Sometimes this too can be a dangerous place. Munir Mukhta is the head of Fatah's armed wing in Lebanon. As we walked the streets of the camp, he gave me his assessment of all that's been happening in the north.
We have announced a state of emergency, which includes all of the Palestinian factions and all the Islamic groups, and our decision is to ensure the fighting will not spread to the other camps. We are taking all necessary steps.
This camp has been untouched by the violence of the last few days, but there's still worry and concern. Fewer people are on the street. Schools have remained padlocked shut. In a building off one of the main streets, Ahmad is taking care of her grandchildren. She has 30 of them. She has close relatives in the camp in Tripoli, and she's waiting for news to find out if they're safe.
It is very, very painful for us because they are our people, our brothers, and the situation is affecting everyone. Most of our family lives there, and anyway we are all brothers. And we hope the situation will calm down in the best possible manner because the Palestinian refugees don't need these problems.
On the streets there's support for the Lebanese army and concern about what this all means for the future.
These groups will affect us and our cause, the right of return for Palestinian refugees, and that is much more important, much bigger than any of these groups.
This is just an introduction. I fear lots of bad things are coming up for the Palestinian people.
The Palestinians here are worried about the innocent civilians being killed, about the prospect of the violence spreading. They want the trouble to end soon, but it may not. And that's their biggest worry. Alan Fisher, Al Jazeera, Ain al-Helwa camp, southern Lebanon.